immediate and so obvious. Iconic was the standout player in Las Vegas Inferno's roster last week. We'll definitely be looking to him, I think, to put on another stellar performance here to try and get themselves past Anew Esports, who is, as Las Vegas Inferno is, a newer team to the VSS, but with some familiar names. We have Laxi, Scrounge, and Eccentric there. All names that have been featured on various upper echelon Valorant Sunday Showdown rosters there. So we are not wanting for talent here in this top 32.
That's for sure. And if you go at the groups, and it doesn't matter if you're going from the seeds that are randomly calculated versus what we're into right now. It's so much good talent from bottom to top of all the entries here. 160 teams, I believe it was the week before this. For how many entries were this time around, I'm not sure, but it's super competitive. And I'm just going to say outright, and for the beginning of this Ascent map, Reyna, I think, is going to be a crucial agent to choose. I think I'm seeing like 90 if I could use my Kappa Frag stats in my head here. I did get a B in math, so there is some kind of like tentative fact coming from my stat percentage. But I think it's like a 90% choose rate for Reyna. I'll get the facts before the end of my cast today. But essential agent. Would you say there's anything else essential that you need to do on Ascent, Dilly? If you would say, hey, team, use this to get some rounds on Ascent.
I would definitely point to the Cypher being a key cornerstone of any composition here on Ascent. We see Iconic picking up the Cypher, I think indicative of Iconic's leadership role within this roster. Being able to be kind of a field marshal from the back, Cypher will deliver that intel to their team and is especially important on this defending side. You see Iconic now holding down B site all on his lonesome. That just shows you how strong he is and how strong Cypher is, but Arsik not wasting any time, rushing forward through here, through the A corridor, trading shots with Anew Esports on the attack, forced to back away. 58 HP remaining for Arsik as Scrounge now pushing through Catwalk. Already his armor has been all but stripped away. Scrounge forced to back into the hands of Iconic, but Iconic not able to deal with the stampede of attackers flowing on over to the B site into the hands of Dovin.
He's got a lot on his plate, hasn't he? It's overfilled his plate. He wasn't ready for the buffet. It's he did already, supposedly. Reyna, though, taking a couple and puts it to a 3 versus 2 in round number 1. Make that also the 2 versus 2 here. VNS coming in hot, doing what he can. Support coming in from Reyna, and he's going to trade out as well. So it's 2-on-1. He's all going to be in the hands of the opposite side for here. Laxi not able to get it done. And a Reyna with a 4K. We spoke of Reyna. Reyna, a big roll and getting 4 frags to the name.
Yeah, that was massive from Aversive there. Specifically, we saw that overheal coming in clutch, giving Aversive that extra little padding to play that much more confidently. But we were talking about 2v1s, 2v2s. It really was just a 1v5 there. Aversive put the team on their back, picked up those 4 kills for Las Vegas Inferno, and despite a shaky start there, able to get that point on the board for themselves. So the defenders starting out strong, up 1 round. Anew Esports seeing if they can steal one back with a thrifty win. But they've got their work cut out for them as Las Vegas Inferno showing they have no shortage of confidence here in this first top 32 match. And Eccentric saying maybe that confidence is misplaced. Takes the head off of Arsik to start this second round off.
Goodness gracious me. Feels bad, man. Getting that one tap. A lot of skill behind that. Isn't just a random flick and the click there. And taking Guarders by storm as well. So regardless of how the first round went, they're going to go in full hand for this second one. Another Sheriff play coming in. And it's going to be 5 versus 3 delete.
Wow, Las Vegas may have taken their foot off the throttle too early here. Aversive once again trying to play the role of hero here. Looking for the 3rd kill. Overheal running. Aversive is so buffed. Gonna let the soldiers go and do the work for him out onto A site. Las Vegas Inferno in a 3v5, get themselves to a 3v1. Scrounge left powerless here in Garden to try and stop them. And goodness, Aversive 2 rounds in already putting together a spectacular performance to get this bracket started.
That was looking like a really good start for Anew Esports there, the Sheriff, and they were looking like the only Sheriff in town, but yeah, yeah, in comes Aversive, and hey, it doesn't matter what weapon he has as well. Seems to be putting everything to work. It's not just about the weapon per se, it's about the kind of peaks he's making. Confidence is key, and he just popping off the handle in round number 2. That's awesome to see.
Yeah, Aversive overflowing with confidence, you could say, and now we see Iconic playing a little bit of a save here in this bonus round for Las Vegas Inferno, sticking just with the Sheriff and Anew Esports with a proper opportunity to get themselves on the board as Tyler gets that opening kill for the attackers. Eccentric letting the bullets spray through mid-corridor here as Las Vegas Inferno happy to give this round away to Anew Esports in terms of firepower, maybe not in terms of kills. See if they can try and even the tide here. Iconic so aggressive and still wins out over Scrounge. Iconic hunting for more, picks up the Vandal, can't get away with the crime. A 1-for-1 though, favoring the defenders as Anew Esports starting to try and regroup here over towards the A side.
Cypher just trying to slink off into the night there and say, hello, what are you doing? Come back here. And oh, speaking of Cypher, Cypher's been deadly this game. Let's take in another one. And it's going to be into a 4 versus 2. So Las Vegas Inferno, oh no, not what you need.
Yeah, Anew Esports. This is a round, obviously, they had their sights on. They've got the advantage here, but they can't give away kills like that. They don't want Las Vegas Inferno to have the lead and the economic edge going into this 4th round. So Dubbin looks to see if they can inflict a little more pain. Oh, pixels away there. Dubbin finds the shot onto Tyler. Don't know that Las Vegas will be able to find anything else there, but Anew Esports get themselves on the board, and now Las Vegas Inferno with the opportunity to have a proper response. A full buy for the Las Vegas Inferno, now looking to re-extend their lead here in this first half.
Perhaps, but something for Anew Esports to maybe some light at the end of the tunnel off of the beginning of a few rounds for them, I would expect. They've got some ults. They've got the Reyna ult. They've got the Hunter's Fury up their sleeve as well. So, if that Recon Dart can be used accurately from, who would it be? In fact, be Neat. That'd be off to a good start here. Let's have a look. Are you a believer in using the ult to open things up, or is it, oh, I'm panicking, use it in a clutch situation, Dilly?
It's a tough line to walk, of course. I think really that decision is a decision best made in hindsight. And opening Hunter's Fury Ultimate, if you land early shots with that, it is already such a big morale boost to your side, let alone the intel, let alone the damage. It's just good news for your team. But if that Hunter's Fury whiffs early on, that is a huge missed opportunity. And you don't want to say that deterring your Sova from going for those risks, but that's simply how it is. It is simply a coin flip situation of if you're fishing with that Hunter's Fury blind, you may catch a big one or you may go home hungry.
That's a very good point, isn't it? It's such a hit and miss ult. I had a teammate I used to play with on one of my first seasons of the beta, actually. Didn't go anywhere, that's why I'm casting. I'm kidding. It didn't go anywhere though. But with Sovic, we're very, very frustrated. And talking of that, it's going to be frustrating here. Iconic, he's stuck out of sight. He's locked out.
Oh, may not matter. Iconic still finds an entrance into the site, still able to make a big play, takes down the rival Cypher in the form of Laxi there, giving Las Vegas Inferno this 5-4 lead as we tick down under 20 seconds now. The spike will go down. Iconic gets taken out, but that's going to open the door for VNS and Dubbin to pick up 2 kills of their own. Eccentric now on the flank, doing some damage, finding some kills, but gonna need a little bit more than that as the defenders stroll on past. They want a piece of Neat. They want the whole package. Eccentric still trying to save this round for Anew Esports as the defuse comes through. Eccentric running out of time. The defuse will be stuck. Eccentric will get the kill. Las Vegas Inferno will get the round.
So many frags there, boosting the combat score. Not able to snag the round is the Reyna. So 2 Reynas just absolutely dominating on Ascent. And I mentioned it from the beginning. It wasn't the caster's curse. Apparently the caster's blessing. So far, so good for them. They're having a great game.
Absolutely. The Reynas are feasting here in this first half. We thought it was going to be Aversive running away with this game, but Eccentric has pulled Aversive right back within arm's reach and said, this is very much a 2-horse race. So the Reynas leading the way for us as we do have this opening Hunter's Fury ringing out. We'll take a look at the health bars to see if any of them take damage. I don't believe Dubbin was able to land any of those shots. So at the very bit, some intel of where Anew Esports aren't hiding. Anew Esports on their side do have that Cypher ultimate available. They do have the Blade Storm and Hunter's Fury ready to go. Iconic, though, with all this information, wants to get aggressive, wants to capitalize here, pushing forward under the guise of these cages. Can Iconic capitalize? Goodness gracious, Iconic! How does he get away with it? Eccentric finally will get the revenge, but that leaves Anew Esports in a 3v4 as the clock starts to work against them. Eccentric, though, working for them, takes down Arsic, and now in a 3v3, 2 ultimates apiece.
2 ultimates apiece indeed, and you spoke of it, and I'm interested to see how this one's going to pan out here for Levy. Dubbin's trying to use the Hunter's Fury, not actually getting any frags from it, and in turn, we've come to a stalemate. 30 seconds left here, and not really much to show.
Yeah, we'll see if that wasted Hunter's Fury comes back to haunt them later. That could have been a stopped defuse if they wanted it, or a stopped plant rather. But now VNS, this holding down the ground level on A site as Neat takes out his partner in crime, Dubbin. VNS has to come up big, will lose out to Eccentric. Eccentric chaining together multi-kills here in this first half. It's going to deliver a second round over to Anew Esports, and Aversive simply going to have to find a consolation prize here. Won't even be able to get that. It's going to be Eccentric picking up a second 4K for themselves here already, just 5 rounds in, Kappa.
This is ridiculous. This is absolute frag fest going from both teams. And it comes down to individual plays. And both the Rainers, individual performance excelling, as you can see on the scoreboard. And you see Empress, like, is it every other round we're seeing it some way or another? It's like, wow, for the whole round.
Quite literally Empress all the time here. It is always running for one of these teams. Eccentric now 13-2-0. There are simply no kills left on the server for anyone else. Eccentric stealing all the candy out of the jar. VNS, oh man, wishing that they had a bit better luck. Won't be winning out that time. In Las Vegas, this is a rare disadvantage for them. After having given away that second round, they're trying to make the best of it, but they are unable to stand up in the face of this onslaught here from Anew Esports. Anew Esports all but set to tie us up here at 3 rounds each.
I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing here from Anew Esports. It's kind of like this puggy style, and it's catching Levy off guard almost. And talking of that, it's down to 1, the solo sheriff.
Oof. Iconic, so quick on the draw there. Won't be able to find anything else. It's just giving us a quick display of the talent there from Iconic, but it will be Anew Esports picking up that 3rd round there. And this is just, I mean, we've told them this isn't deathmatch, am I right? Eccentric now 16-2-0 in the first half. Some people don't get 16 kills in an entire game. Eccentric be looking to see what crazy high number that kill count for Eccentric ends up landing on.
Yeah, this has been a beautiful display of Valorant from both teams, and neck and neck so far. I'm actually a believer, and I've realized this as time's gone on. It really doesn't matter if you have 1 round at the end of a half. It's 11-1. You can come back, and that's actually something I enjoy more about Valorant than any other esport that I've been able to cast. It's so exciting, and you never are out of the running, regardless of your economy. You've got that sort of 1D, that 1 sheriff potential, and as you see right now, it's going to be one of those games. We might even see OT here, Dilly. I'm going to cast his curse in. I feel it's going that direction.
Very well could end up that way. And we saw it last week as well. We saw extensively close games that did not start out that way. We had teams on Bind run up, 9 rounds in the first half only to fall 13-10. So these first halves, they can give you an idea of where these teams are at, but they will not give you the full picture. Iconic will give his team a double kill before Eccentric delivers Iconic to his team, and now a 3v3, 2 ultimates apiece, and it's mirror ultimates, 2 Omen ultimates, 2 Reyna ultimates. Very well could hear that Empress cackle once more. There it is, the hunt has begun for Anew Esports as they defend this spike plant 3v3.
And there's aggression here. There's aggression of Eccentric. He's got to do something. He has to make the business happen. You've outnumbered, you're outgunned. This literally is like a Warzone matchup with the chaos that's happened here. It's like a battle royale. You're so right. And he's going to put it to the 2 versus 2. Makes it a little bit more doable. And I think this could be in the bag for them.
Oh, Eccentric playing a dangerous game here. Eccentric still comes up big. Now Aversive trying to put a stop to him, but Eccentric wins out once again. Count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 Ks for Eccentric.
The knockout, man. The absolute KO. If it's a James Bond movie, the karate chop to the back of the neck. That's what she's doing to everyone as in the character, the agent. Insane Reina. I've never seen such good Reina plays out the gate on a Sunday evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you may reside to be watching this here for the VSS. And hopefully you're enjoying things so far. From group stage to the playoffs, action galore. And hopefully you're taking some notes. I'm taking some notes, that's for sure. That's where I'm getting all my plays, by the way. But getting that ace with Viper, it came from watching plays like this.
Absolutely. That is a VSS skill learned and noted there. And now, goodness, Eccentric putting on a show for us all. 20 kills, 2 deaths, and we are only 8 rounds into this match. I didn't even know you could get that many kills this early on. It defies all reason, it defies all belief. Eccentric, that will be a difficult pace to maintain for a whole game.
I'm one for full disclosure, and I'm a Silver 2, not the best rank, and laugh as you will, meme as you will, please. 1v1 me, you have a good time, you'll feel better after it. But my game knowledge does get me some frags, and as you're seeing here, so much game knowledge galore coming from these players, and it's mind-blowing to see the kind of things they're doing, and take the notes. I'm not kidding at all. That is how you get better. Watch those VODs, watch those players, and watch these frags as they come through mid, dominating. Confidence is key, and I was about to say, to get back to that thought point, I was 17-5, but 20-2. That's ridiculous.
Absolutely unreal stats here. In Anew Esports, you touched on something really important there, is how they're moving about the map, how they're making their decisions. It's all reactionary, and we saw it there from Eccentric. We saw those shots being sprayed down mid. Eccentric understood the timing of those sheriff shots well enough to know when it was safe to peek, and Eccentric took advantage there. Anew Esports not only showing game knowledge, but they're showing game sense. They can take the information available to them, they can put it together into a good play, into a good execute, into a good sight hold, whatever it may be. Anew Esports, they've got the big brains, they've got the big plays, and now they are starting to build a big lead over the Las Vegas Inferno, and we are still only in the first half, and Eccentric still has more than 20 kills. Unreal stuff from Anew Esports here.
Come on, Eccentric, you died 3 times. You forgot frag 3 times. What's the problem?
Yeah. Those are 3 kills you missed out on, Eccentric. Come on.
No, this is absolutely mental. Enjoyed every single second here. And Dilly, it's not even in a bad way, but we're fighting for the mic. There's so much to say about this game. It's not even a second. And we've got a little second to breathe here. Thank goodness the team's just taking a moment. And you do need to do that. And also this, when you're playing an esport, you've got to take those rounds where, just chill out.
Yeah.
Take a little breather. Take a stroll through courtyard as you will, and just see what you can find.
You need to take a breath, assess the situation, understand where you're at in terms of the flow of the game. Anew Esports calming down the pace here for this 9th round. But that is something that can be difficult in terms of esports. We'll touch back on it here at the end of this round. Is Eccentric now, as the clock ticks under a minute, getting their first kill of the round, far from their first kill of the match. Eccentric taking out the rival Reina there of Aversive. It was Aversive who had that standout start to this game. What was it, 6 kills, I think, in 2 rounds for Aversive.
Yeah.
And now Eccentric, not to be outdone by another Reina, has completely and absolutely surpass those stat lines. So we'll hope to see Aversive catch back up to Eccentric, but it's going to be Arsic right now trying to hold it down, but Arsic will be taken out by Tyler as Scrouge takes out VNS. Iconic trying to make a valiant stand here in Garden. Does get the spike carrier, but won't be able to contest much further. So there's only 1 teammate remaining for Iconic. Does have that ultimate available. Will be able to deliver the information to Dubbin. How much will they be able to do with it? The answer may be not much. Tyler gets the snipe onto Dubbin, and now Iconic just looking for a consolation prize here to close out this 9th round. But to go back to what you were saying there, Kappa, about being able to take a break, take a breather, that is something that I think is really important as these games get, pretty long in length. I mean, think of the overtime, the last 2 matches we saw on stream, overtime matches. I'm sure those teams were thankful for the pre-round, you know, the 30 seconds they have to talk and breathe before these rounds get started. Not all esports so lucky, I will say. My mind certainly comes to StarCraft, where as soon as the game starts, you are at 400 APM for the next 20 minutes, and you will not have a chance to take your hands off the keyboard. But luckily for Anew Esports, they were able to have the presence of mind to take things back, slow things down, give themselves time to breathe, and now we've seen Eccentric has taken that time to breathe and run away with it. 22-3-1. Eccentric, I imagine I will be reporting that updated KDA back to the audience many more times throughout this match.
I'm hoping so. I'm also hoping for the Las Vegas Inferno. We've seen a great performance from them in previous weeks. I know they've climbed the ladder, and we spoke of that in pre-game. I know you did yourself. I'd love to see a little bit more out of them here. I'm not sure what it's going to take, though. I don't know what the coach's corner, like, 2 cents to give them. This aggro push, though, this could be punished, and that's something they've got to be careful of. Given frags were like that, it's a 5 versus 4. Feeding them even just the 1 frag, they don't need feeding. They've been popping off already.
Yeah, Las Vegas Inferno understanding they need to maybe mix up the pace here and catch Anew Esports off guard, but Anew Esports very much wanting to play the game, their speed not matching the tempo there of Las Vegas Inferno. And I think the key for Las Vegas Inferno, as difficult as it may be, when we saw them last week, the crux of their performance was iconic. It was iconic putting on a Herculean performance. You see in there, taking down the head of Laxi there, just the stinger. Dubbin getting a kill onto Neat, so this round very much in play for Las Vegas Inferno. Arsic just a smoke away there from some enemies. But the key for Las Vegas last week was iconic, putting on a Herculean performance, taking Las Vegas Inferno to new heights. They're gonna need that again from iconic because the rest of the team just isn't there to pick up the slack for him. So iconic will have to turn things up a notch, match a bit of the output that Eccentric has put on here. As Eccentric gets the spike plant, Anew Esports in a 3v4, but they've got control of the site, and they've got the spike down.
I think they've got some more mustard up their sleeve. Mustard up their sleeve. Sorry, mustard on top of the beef. Whatever you say, mustard up your sleeve. When have you ever put mustard up your sleeve? Hopefully none of that here.
Tyler holding this corridor angle now. Las Vegas so nervous about pushing it. That smoke, the dark cover will help, but Tyler's so quick on the draw. Iconic can do nothing about that. Scrounge picks up Dubbin. Scrounge picks up VNS, and Anew Esports in the 3v4 hold down the site to secure their lead for the next half, but we have still got 2 rounds to go, and this one is Anew Esports. It was a shaky start for them, but Kappa, they have put 6 rounds in a row here in this first half.
And not just that, it's on the attacking side. Ascent attacking side could be so frustrating. You've got the lower ground, you're aggressing 2 sites that are really bunkered away, and it's kind of 2 choke points, 3 choke points to get to it, or 4 if you include Catwalk as well. So this is, get the difficult side out the way first, I would say. At this rate, this is going to be rough, difficult for Las Vegas Thunder. But as we did mention, you're never out of the running, regardless of the level of play in Valorant. And we're going to see, hopefully, some more of that in the second half. Sometimes that second half, we talk of sort of taking that breather, that flip of the coin and going to the other side can sometimes flip the attitude and the approach of the team as well. So time will tell. Still a little bit of the first half available to pick up a round. So maybe 4 rounds. That'd be nice to finish it for Las Vegas.
Absolutely. No one is out of the woods at any point until it's all said and done, regardless of the score. Specifically, we know Iconic has been instrumental to teams that have mounted comebacks that, you know, they were down 1 round to 11 and still somehow found a way to find a win. Snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, and it was Iconic who led that charge, and it's Iconic now the stalwart for Las Vegas, enabling Arsic to push up this mid corridor, pick up the double kill with that Blade Storm. Tyler won't be able to convert that snipe, and now Anew Esports with only 1 member remaining. It is Tyler. Tyler's got the Blade Storm in the pocket, but I think that is going to be saved for another day. Tyler Tyler gonna just try and steal away some kills. Won't be able to do that. And off the back of that entry kill, or excuse me, starting kill, round starting kill from Iconic, Las Vegas able to get themselves a much needed 4th round on the board as we move into the last round of this first half.
Good work from Arsik there with the Blade Storm. Blade Storm, it's such a nightmare to aim with it, to get it accurately and get that headshot. It's very punishing. Getting 2 frags with it as well. So really opened the opponent up, cracked open the can, and finally put Anew Esports at bay for another round longer. So there's that full round. It's 7-4. What else is there up in the magazine of the weapon of Las Vegas Inferno?
Yeah, we'll see what else they've got in the directory for us there. Las Vegas Inferno, we've seen them be really aggressive on some of these defending rounds, pushing up the B and A corridors. Sometimes Iconic has been really aggressive up that A long corridor there. This time, happy to sit back on their hands, not push forward. They don't want to force the issue now, and I think that's a big confidence indicator there from Las Vegas Inferno. They don't feel like the pressure is on their shoulders anymore. They don't have to force the issue. They can just play the game as they want to play it now. Here will come the execute from Anew Esports. Iconic in this hell corridor now. Locked down, smoked out, caged out. Now hiding away from these attackers who have spilled out onto the A side. Do they know Iconic's there? He does take a bit of damage, but I think he's gone completely undetected. VNS will get the action started for the defenders as the Empress runs for Las Vegas Inferno. Tyler takes the head off of 2 of the defenders, and that's going to be a comfortable spike plant for Anew Esports and a comfortable snipe for Tyler, picking up the triple kill. Tyler hunting for more, could get more.
He wants the ace!
So close to the right click. Tyler sprayed out of the air now, and maybe new hope for Las Vegas here on this retake, trying to find one of these kills. Does Arsik with the snipe. Eccentric punishes, now just Dubbin, 46 HP remaining up against 2 attackers as the spike takes down Dubbin, peeking around this corner. Inches forward onto site, drops down. Eccentric ready to go. Anew Esports wrap up the first half 8-4 over the Las Vegas Inferno, and now Las Vegas Inferno switching over to the attacking side, and they have got a lot of work on their plate.
Look, refresher. 25 in 4 is Eccentric at halftime. You mentioned, 16 frags is a good half, and players are lucky to get that in a game sometimes. But in one half, have we got a 50 bomb coming up? If that's going to continue, this is savage.
Yeah, it will be really interesting to see how Eccentric gets set up across the map here on the defending side. Now, if you're a new Anew Esports, you want to maybe send Eccentric into some unorthodox positions where they can catch Las Vegas Inferno off guard. But for now, Eccentric's going to keep things standard, just holding down this boathouse here now. But it's going to be the A side that Inferno push out onto, but they don't have the spike. This is really interesting mix-up for them. They will shut that door as... No, Arsik can't get through it. What was that? Las Vegas Inferno. I think a bit of a miscommunication there onto A site, and now they're going to rotate across this mid corridor. Scrounge waiting for them on the catwalk.
Yeah, that can't have been calculated, but maybe it was. Maybe we're not to see the master plan yet. 4 versus 4. Frags not galore, just a couple, and make that the 1 more, the 2 more. So the 3 versus 3, even Steven so far, and really, this has been the whole theme of the game. Jet taking out our sister in crime.
Oh man, Las Vegas Inferno so close to stealing this one away. Even with that unorthodox push, it looked like they had maybe driven a wedge between the defenders of Anew Esports, but now Anew Esports, 3 defenders remaining up against the lone Iconic. Laxi gets it done, and Anew Esports now 1 round away from putting themselves onto double digits here to start off this second half.
Yeah, things looking pretty bleak here for Las Vegas, but if they were able to do something off the next buy, and as you can see, looking pretty disciplined on their save, they're like, guys, we can't spare a penny right now, can't spare a credit, so holding off on the buy. Oh, tell a lie, they're getting stingers and chairs, they're forcing in.
Yeah, Las Vegas Inferno, if you're from Vegas, you're gonna want to roll the dice. Here comes the gamble from Sin City. Las Vegas Inferno with this full force buy now in the 14th round. They know every single round is crucial, and they want to put up their best foot forward here to try and take them. This force buy could be crucial, or it could be the undoing here for Las Vegas Inferno. On the other side, Anew Esports with a very standard second round buy after having taken that pistol round. It will be the Spectres in kind. And here comes the execute from Las Vegas Inferno. The force buy not paying off thus far. Eccentric still able to get work done. Dubbin will take out Eccentric, but Tyler takes out Aversive for the 2-for-1 trade now. Laxi so close to getting that assassination, but Iconic too quick on the draw. Winning the Cypher duel brings us into a 3v3 as the spike goes down.
Man, you've got to be behind Las Vegas for having the cojones to really put the money where their mouth is and really go all in on Black. That's what they did for that one. Not going to happen and look too good for them right now. The Stinger stinging the sides of his opponent and putting it to the 2 versus 2. If one more frag can be taken from Iconic, this could be game set match for them, and spraying through that. Not able to convert it. That's so unfortunate. Bringing it to the 1 versus 1, Dilly.
That was heartbreaking. I completely slept on Iconic on that flank. Didn't even see it coming until it was too late, and I'm sure Anew Esports didn't as well. Iconic able to go undetected through market there and get the backstab onto Anew Esports. Unfortunately, Scrounge way too quick on the draw that time around for Las Vegas and ends up winning the 1v2 for the clutch nonetheless. So hats off to Scrounge, a masterclass there holding down that site. But now Las Vegas Inferno, that was a big gamble, and you can see they've got big debts to pay off now. They are brought down to the bones, and Anew Esports with a much stronger buy here in this 3rd round. As you can see, Tyler's got the full armor and full op in hand. This could be all over for Las Vegas Inferno. They need to start stealing rounds away, and they need to start stealing them fast.
Oh no, Scrounge, he's pushing up pushing up Cat. He's going to get a frag for it as well. Las Vegas Inferno not even getting a break here. The debt collectors taking the skull immediately in that round and not even given a chance to think about, we're going to be pushing Cat. No, you're not. You're not pushing anything at all. Talking of the economy, they've only got Spectres. They've got 3 Spectres, a Vandal, and an Operator in the hands of Anew Esports. So the econ damage was inflicted there by Levy in the previous round, but it's kind of like a suicide rush. It hurt them, but it really hurt their opponent as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It did throw Anew Esports for a bit of a curveball there. They would have expected to just be saving here, but now they've got to, you know, as Las Vegas did, they've got to put their money where their mouth was. So they do opt for the op. They get that Vandal and the 3 Spectres there, I believe, to round out that composition. And so far, not much Las Vegas has been able to do about it. Iconic trying to give them some sort of edge here with this intel, but Laxi too quick on that bolt there. And now the clock really ticking against Las Vegas Inferno. Less than 10 seconds remaining is the A play. Tyler or Heaven will get the snipe onto Arsic. Tyler looking for more. Dubbin on the flank though, takes down Tyler. Scrounge though on the flank of a flank, wins out once more. Goodness gracious, Scrounge with the big brain plays deliver Anew Esports onto their 11th round, and they are 2 rounds away from punching their ticket into the top 16.
Yeah, you can see Scrounge, you can see Essential. They've already got the ticket in their hands, and we're not going to punch it yet. We'll wait till we're allowed to, but they're ready. They've got it in their greasy mitts, and I think it's double 3K, 2 3Ks in a row there for Scrounge, if I'm not mistaken.
And I want to say too, Scrounge, a player that we touched on before the game because we know how strong they are. Scrounge, really talented individual skills there. Had a slow start to this game, but what I will say is I don't know that that was a slow start there for Scrounge, or if it was just so fast of a start for Eccentric. There simply weren't any kills left for Scrounge to pick up. Tyler now getting their plate on the table, picks up that opening kill, and Las Vegas Inferno not wasting any time to try and push forward, but they only find ruin here. Oh my goodness, the slaughter begins on A site, and Anew Esports just like that. Blink and you'll miss it. Anew Esports on to match point.
I actually did blink, and the round was over. I saw the kill feed full of like 4 frags, and that was it. That's all she wrote. And it isn't necessarily from Las Vegas Inferno. Let's give the breakdown already, because I think it is all but done with the economy advantage there for Anew Esports as well, of what they've got in the piggy bank. They're pre-firing everything. Las Vegas Inferno, they've tried the alternative strats. They put it to 1v1s, 2v2s, almost every single round, but somehow, some way in Anew Esports, they keep pulling through.
Yeah, it's been really impressive from Anew Esports, Las Vegas Inferno, with this Hunter's Fury trying to hunt down Tyler. Tyler too wily of prey to be caught out by that one. But Las Vegas Inferno, they've tried every single approach here, and Anew Esports have shut the door in their face over and over again. You can see it here in the 17th round. There are simply no available avenues here for Las Vegas Inferno. And credit to the Inferno, they have come with every game plan imaginable, every pace of play, but Anew Esports have just had the toolbox ready to go. And now Las Vegas Inferno, they are 3 members away from losing their tournament life. And you can go ahead and make that 2 as Tyler makes it 2 kills for the round. Scrounge now popped up on Heaven. Arsic will take out Scrounge's teammate, but Scrounge takes out Arsic's teammate in the 4 there. Arsic wins out in the end, but still the lone attacker remaining.
This is quite infamous to make this one happen. He's not going to get happen. Eccentric, don't even know what Eccentric finished with the frags, but I can almost guarantee you, Dilly, that Eccentric's going to be the MVP for that one.
I would be shocked were it any other way. Eccentric with a more than MVP worthy performance rather to start us off for top 32. Applause deserved indeed. Would be shocked if Eccentric isn't the MVP there. But Anew Esports, a really impressive showing from them. As we said, this is only, I believe, their 2nd or 3rd Valorant Sunday Showdown without any top 32, top 16 appearances to speak of. But now they are well into the top 16, and not just in the top 16, but with a commanding performance over the Las Vegas Inferno, led by Eccentric here on the Reyna, 28, 5, and 2. Combat score 408. That is out of this galaxy here. Eccentric, goodness gracious, what a performance. The only thing I can say is imagine if Eccentric had kept up that pace that they had in the first half. That would have been a 50 bomb. No questions asked there for Eccentric.
The red bar obviously fallen off a little bit in the second half,
Of
but
course,
that's okay.
of
He
course.
did enough work in the first half of popping off and making it all happen, and pretty much carrying her team through that first half and into that victory. So for VSS, that is going to be one map for the best of one out of the way, and we do have some more action coming next. You know who will be casting for the upcoming Delhi?
We will be taking a look at the bracket. We'll be in chat to let you guys know ASAP. But as for now, that was Anew Esports taking the win over the Las Vegas Inferno on Ascent for top 32. We are going to take a short few-minute break, and that will be Cup of Frag and myself back for top 16. Stick around. You definitely don't want to miss it.